This is R2D Tech, and we're back again this week with a video on Tesla's new Cybertruck. It's a very controversial product, and we'll be giving you our opinions on it and what we think about it in general, so stay tuned. So, in terms of design, this Cybertruck's got a crazy futuristic design. If you see the photos on Tesla's website, they always have it in an almost extraterrestrial environment. It looks like it could be on Mars or the moon. It could be a moon rover. Obviously, it's absolutely massive. It's a very big pickup truck. It has a great towing capacity, but we'll get onto that later. And the edges are very defined. So instead of being like a normal car where the edges are very smoothed out and curved, on this car it's very bold. If you gave a small child a paper and pencil and asked them to draw a car, this is what it would look like. Definitely it's not your standard car. It definitely looks much more futuristic than your normal car. Definitely the design is not as subtle as you might have found on a Ford pickup truck, for example. So if that's your sort of thing, then you'll definitely like this truck. And the wheels themselves are beasts as well. They look like they could be something on a tank. They've got like armored rims and they look absolutely insane. The main problem is when you put this car next to an ordinary car, and then you might think that this one looks absolutely ridiculous. But then if you isolate this one on its own and put it in like a rougher environment, then you'll start to appreciate how futuristic and how different the design is. You know, you have to be somebody who likes to stand out if you're going to buy this car.
So even though the design might be quite controversial on this new Cybertruck, no one can deny that the specs are really impressive. Now with the top spec tri-motor model, you get an acceleration of 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds, which is crazy. That's faster than a lot of supercars. That's mainly due to the electric motor, and we've seen that on the other, the Tesla Model S, the Tesla Model 3, you also do get really fast acceleration. You get a range of up to 500 miles, which is pretty insane, and also a towing capacity of up to 14,000 pounds, which is really impressive even for a pickup truck like this. It blows away the competition from Ford and other manufacturers. Now keep in mind that those were the specs for the top spec model. Now if you want the bottom spec, it's going to be starting at a price of $39,000, but you can imagine it's going to be significantly more expensive if you want the top spec model. Now keep in mind that you will be able to add full self-driving capabilities like on the other Tesla models at an additional price. But keep in mind that this self-driving feature isn't even allowed in most of the world yet and is only allowed on the highways in some states in the US.
One thing that's been talked about a lot since the Cybertruck release event is the demo that happened on stage. Now, if you recall, they actually threw a pretty dense metal ball at the windows and both of them smashed. Like, the whole point of the demo was that they would show the ball rebounding off the windows and not cracking it. Now, this was done after they sledgehammered one of the doors to show how strong it was compared to a normal car door. Apparently what actually happened is because of the sledgehammering, this actually cracked the bottom of the glass, so when they threw the metal ball at the window, it was inevitable that it was going to crack after it had already been compromised. If you actually watch some of the footage from before the event, where they did the demo in a slow-mo video, you can actually see the metal ball rebounding off the glass window and not cracking it at all. So I think it's safe to say that the windows are toughened and much stronger than normal glass windows. It's just they had a bit of an unfortunate demo on stage. If they had done the metal ball demo before they sledgehammered the doors, it probably wouldn't have cracked. Now, we should still be slightly skeptical because in a real life situation, if you're driving a car like this off-road, it is likely that you are going to hit the car quite a few times. So does that suggest that every time you hit the car somewhere, it's going to crack the bottom of the windows and the windows will be compromised after that? Because in real life, you don't just get a perfect throw out the window. The car will be rattled in other places and probably hit on the doors as well if you are in an accident. So perhaps the demo showing the windows cracking is more realistic than just a metal ball being thrown at the window and bouncing off.
Now, the most exciting thing about this new car from Tesla is the price. Now, starting at £39,000 is not actually that much more than the base model of the Tesla Model 3. It's not even that far off from one of the most popular pickup trucks, the Ford F-150, which starts at $30,000. Now, considering the extra features and the really good specs you get with the Cybertruck, it kind of does justify the price increase over the Ford F-150. Now, the main thing to consider when you're buying this Cybertruck is the design, and it's going to be something where you either hate it or you love it. I personally really like it, but I know it's really polarized the Tesla fan base, and many people really hate it. That's it from us this week. If you liked the video, please press the thumbs up button. If you loved it, please consider subscribing for more content in the future.